The 2,640-kilometer border between Pakistan and Afghanistan, known as the Durand Line, divides not just.
In 1893, the British drew the Durand Line, dividing Pashtun lands between British India and Afghanistan.
On Honeful, 1947, Pakistan inherited the Durand Line from British India. Afghanistan refused to recognize it.
The Pashtun people, over 40 million strong, live on both sides of the border. For them, the Durand Line divides their ancestral homeland.
1979, the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan began a new chapter. Pakistan opened its borders to over.
For over a decade, Pakistan hosted millions of Afghans.
The 1990s brought brutal civil war to Afghanistan. Pakistan, seeking influence, supported various groups.
Pakistan officially joined America's war, but the reality was complex. Many Taliban and Al-Qaeda members found refuge in Pakistan's tribal areas.
Pakistan's tribal areas became the epicenter of controversy. Critics accused Pakistan of harboring militants while claiming to fight terrorism.
Today, Pakistan still hosts over 1.4 million registered Afghan refugees.
The Torkham and Chaman crossings see thousands daily. For many, the border is merely a formality in their interconnected lives.
Despite political tensions, economic ties run deep. Afghanistan depends on Pakistani ports, while Pakistan sees Afghanistan as a gateway to Central Asia. August 2021, the Taliban returned to power. Pakistan, which had long advocated for Taliban inclusion in government, the Pakistani Taliban, operating from Afghanistan, now poses a major threat to Pakistan. The tables have turned in unexpected ways.
Pakistan is fencing the Durand Line despite Afghan objections. The colonial-era border dispute remains unresolved after 130 years.
Water is becoming a new source of tension. Both countries face severe water scarcity, and shared rivers are becoming points of conflict. China's growing involvement adds new dimensions. Beijing wants stability for its Belt and Road project and eyes Afghanistan's vast mineral wealth. The drug trade binds both nations in a destructive embrace. Afghan opium flows through Pakistan, creating addiction crises and funding instability. Religious schools continue to shape minds on both sides. These institutions maintain ideological links that transcend political boundaries.
Women's rights highlight diverging paths. While Pakistani women face challenges, Afghan women under Taliban rule face severe restrictions.
Intelligence agencies cooperate on some threats while competing on others. Trust remains limited despite shared security challenges.
Culture transcends politics. Shared music, poetry, food, and family ties create bonds that no border can fully separate.
Business communities on both sides see opportunity beyond politics. Economic integration could transform the relationship if politics allows. Millions live between both worlds. Their dual identities and family networks create human bridges that politics cannot destroy. Education offers hope. Thousands of Afghan students study in Pakistan, potentially becoming bridges for future understanding. Media shapes perceptions. How each country's media covers the other influences public opinion and policy decisions.
Humanitarian needs transcend politics. Pakistan remains the primary corridor for international aid to Afghanistan.
Climate change threatens both nations. Melting glaciers, floods, and droughts don't respect borders, demanding cooperation for survival. Youth on both sides see differently. Connected through social media, many want peace and prosperity over their elders' conflicts.
Afghanistan's vast mineral wealth
could transform both nations.
Military establishments shape policy on both sides. Security concerns often override economic and humanitarian considerations.
Traditional jirgas bring elders together across the border. These age-old mechanisms offer indigenous solutions to modern conflicts.
A vast informal economy thrives across the border. Smuggling, while illegal, sustains millions of livelihoods on both sides. Religious leaders seek common ground through shared faith. Islam, practiced by majorities in both nations, could unite rather than divide. Disease knows no borders. Polio eradication requires coordination, showing how health challenges demand cooperation.
The Afghan Transit Trade Agreement is Afghanistan's economic lifeline. This dependency creates both leverage and responsibility for Pakistan.
Refugee return remains contentious. Many born in Pakistan consider it home. while Afghanistan lacks capacity to absorb returnees.
Border markets provide rare interaction spaces. Here, ordinary people trade and talk, maintaining human connections despite political tensions.
Technology connects separated families. Phone calls and social media maintain relationships that politics would sever.
Energy projects could bind both nations. Pipelines and power lines represent potential for economic interdependence.
The war on drugs unites both nations as victims. Joint efforts against narcotics trafficking show cooperation is possible.
Ancient history reveals deep connections. The Gandhara civilization flourished across both territories, showing borders are recent inventions.
Agriculture connects rural populations. Similar crops, techniques, and challenges create common ground for cooperation. Geography makes Pakistan indispensable to landlocked Afghanistan. This reality shapes their relationship fundamentally.
Both nations increasingly assert border control. Modern technology meets ancient movement patterns, creating new frictions. Diplomacy continues despite tensions. Regular meetings and maintained embassies show both recognize the need for engagement. Money flows across borders through formal and informal channels. Economic reality transcends political divisions.
Marriages unite families across borders. These personal bonds create stakeholders for peace on both sides.
Entertainment crosses borders easily. Pakistani dramas and Afghan music create cultural bridges that politics cannot break.
Healthcare draws Afghans to Pakistan. Advanced medical treatment creates gratitude that transcends political tensions.
Military displays signal strength and sovereignty. Both nations balance deterrence with the need for engagement.
Multiple peace initiatives have tried to improve relations. Success remains elusive, but dialogue continues intermittently.
Civil society on both sides advocates for peace. These voices, though often unheard, represent hope for reconciliation.
Economic zones along the border could transform conflict zones into prosperity areas. Economics might succeed where politics failed.
The digital economy offers new cooperation avenues. Young tech workers on both sides could build bridges through innovation. Natural disasters bring out humanity. During earthquakes and floods, both nations have helped each other, showing compassion transcends conflict.
Nature recognizes no borders. Shared ecosystems require joint conservation efforts for both nations' environmental future.
Security threats sometimes force cooperation. Intelligence sharing on common enemies shows pragmatism can override mistrust. Artists speak universal languages. Joint exhibitions and collaborations show culture can transcend political boundaries.
Sports provides safe competition space. Athletic contests allow national pride expression without destructive conflict.
Radio waves don't stop at borders. Broadcasting shapes opinions and can either divide or unite populations.
Sacred sites draw pilgrims from both nations. Spiritual journeys create connections that transcend earthly divisions.
Natural resources could drive cooperation. Joint exploitation of mineral wealth could benefit both nations economically.
Livestock trade maintains ancient connections. Pastoral communities on both sides share economic and cultural practices.
Skills training builds future capacity. Pakistani expertise helping Afghan youth represents investment in regional stability.
Legal cooperation remains limited. Criminal networks exploit jurisdictional gaps while both nations struggle with coordination.
Pakistan prints Afghanistan's currency, showing deep economic integration. Such dependencies create both leverage and responsibility.
Intellectuals and experts maintain dialogue when officials cannot. Track 2 diplomacy keeps communication channels open.
Reconstruction creates economic stakes. Pakistani businesses involved in Afghan development have interests in stability.
Intelligence rivalries poison relations. Mutual accusations of supporting proxies create cycles of mistrust and retaliation.
Peace activists, especially women, advocate for reconciliation. They remind both nations of conflict's human cost.
Cities evolve differently but face similar challenges. Urban connections could drive future cooperation between modern populations. Food security affects both nations. Climate change and population growth make agricultural cooperation increasingly vital.
Social media amplifies both conflict and connection. Digital spaces become new battlegrounds or bridges depending on usage.
COVID-19 showed viruses ignore borders. Pandemic response required coordination, demonstrating health security interdependence.
Remittances flow both ways. Workers' money sent home creates economic stakes in each other's stability.
Language learning enables understanding. Shared languages like Pashto and growing bilingualism create communication possibilities. Border incidents regularly test relations. How both sides manage these crises reveals the relationship's fragility and resilience.
Regional powers increasingly mediate. Their involvement reflects the relationship's importance for regional stability. The future remains unwritten. Whether Pakistan and Afghanistan become partners or remain rivals depends on choices made today.
History reminds us borders are recent. For millennia, these lands shared empires, trade, and culture without modern divisions.
Military preparedness reflects mutual suspicions. Both nations maintain forces while claiming desire for peace.
Economists calculate peace dividends. The opportunity cost of conflict includes lost trade, investment, and development.
Cultural celebrations could unite rather than divide. Shared festivals offer opportunities for people-to-people connection.
Transportation infrastructure could transform relations. Modern connectivity would create interdependencies favoring peace.
Water increasingly drives tensions. How both nations manage shared rivers will determine future conflict or cooperation. Economic corridors could integrate both nations into regional prosperity networks. Geography makes cooperation logical.
Youth exchanges build future understanding. Today's students could become tomorrow's peace builders.
Dawn reveals human commonality. On both sides, people wake with similar hopes for peace, prosperity, and their children's future.
Education levels shape futures. Both nations struggle with literacy and education, sharing similar developmental challenges.
Regional organizations provide neutral meeting grounds. Multilateral settings sometimes enable dialogue bilateral channels cannot.
Migration patterns reveal deep connections. Millions have moved between both nations, creating complex demographic realities.
Unpublicized cooperation occurs. When mutual interests align, intelligence agencies quietly collaborate against common threats.
Numbers tell stories. Despite political tensions, billions in trade show economic logic often trumps political rhetoric.
Monuments to friendship exist despite tensions. These symbols remind both nations that peace is possible and has precedence.
Professional training creates lasting connections. Technical cooperation builds relationships that survive political changes.
As sun sets on the Durand Line, questions remain. Will tomorrow bring conflict or cooperation? History suggests both are possible.
The relationship between Pakistan and Afghanistan remains one of the world's most complex. Born from colonial division,